Hi, I'm Darryl, and welcome to Galactic Insights. We're about to dive into the universe's greatest cosmic puzzle. Think of this channel as your guide to piecing together the mysteries of Earth and beyond. Explore how the vast cosmos expands and collapses in on itself, both the grand scheme and the tiniest details. Just like a jigsaw puzzle, our pieces don't come together in a neat chronological order. They're weird, one-of-a-kind pieces that fit together in ways that make you go, wait, what the fuck? Some snap together in places perfectly while others connect different parts of the puzzle in the most unexpected ways. Every piece is critical and none is more important than the other, even the ones that seem like they belong in a different box. To kick off this cosmic adventure, we got a stellar first piece. A chat with the brilliant Daniel Scranton channeling the Pleiadian High Council, which is a higher density collective consciousness. This video is extra special because it aligns with my recent experience of being claircognizant. Basically, I'm getting direct downloads from the universe, no Wi-Fi required. I checked with the Pleiadian Council to make sure that my downloads were on point, and guess what? They're right on spot. We explore mind-boggling topics like the Great Pyramid, humanity's ascension, the characteristics of Pleiadians, and a bit about me, your cosmic guide. So grab your puzzle pieces and let's embark on this interstellar journey. And remember, if you enjoy our cosmic puzzle, hit that like button and subscribe. Because who wouldn't want to keep track of a channel that's as puzzling as the universe itself? Enjoy.
We are the Pleiadian High Council of Seven, and we are pleased to offer you our words of wisdom.
Excellent. Thank you for coming in and meeting with me.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
Oh God, it's such a pleasure. I mean, well, you guys probably already know this, but I was speaking with the Arcturian Council, and they verified for me that I am part Pleiadian, and that is one of my main 4 lineages. And I kind of sensed it. But it was nice that they confirmed it. So I feel like I'm talking to family.
Indeed, yes.
Right now, what I can really use your insights on is that we're going through this collective consciousness of helping humanity to raise into the 4th density, and that's really one of my main purposes of incarnating here. And what I have coming up is really special, and I think part of my ET background, and that is that I actually have a big trip going to Egypt in the Great Pyramids. And in that Great Pyramid, I'm getting certain insights about things to do and what to hopefully achieve and to also have fun. So one of the things that I want to get your feedback on is that it is in my life plan to go to Egypt and help activate, so to speak, the pyramids and to move energy around and to distribute cosmic cohorts and to help humanity race to the 4th density.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Well put.
And I see that there's a variety of ways of doing that. but I just need to have fun no matter what. Nothing's too serious, and just have fun, and just knowing that this is kind of what I've incarnated to do. So just enjoy myself doing it.
Indeed.
That being said, I want to do things efficiently, and to the best of my knowledge, so here's a couple of things that if you can give me your insight about it, is that I've been working on my chakras to get them flowing, because I understand that that's how I can tap into my inner self more. What I'm also realizing is that the earth has chakras, and of the 7 chakras in the earth, the pyramid in Egypt is the throat chakra of the earth. Can you confirm that?
We would say that the pyramids of Egypt are the solar plexus chakra.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes.
And the Great Pyramids itself, is that also tied to the solar plexus chakra of the earth?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's a structure to help magnify or increase energy to be traveled in and out, and to clean it, to aid it, to augment it, to use codes to spread it out and make it to the next step. Is that kind of a good interpretation of that?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I also got a little insight that the pyramid itself has chakras, and that each of the chambers that are discovered in the pyramid is representative of a chakra, and that there are actually 7 structures in the pyramid that correspond to 7 chakras. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Okay. In my trip, do I need to go to a particular room or chakra within the Great Pyramid? Although right now what I'm getting is that wherever I go to, I'll be divinely lit to, so I don't really need to know.
It's true, and it's also true that you're more likely to have an opening and an activation of your throat chakra while standing in the King's Chamber.
I kind of got that.
Yes.
I kind of got that my throat chakra is the one that needs to be opened more, and that something unique was going to happen at the King's Chamber. I also got like a download that the King's Chamber has always been there for this purpose throughout history, for other people, other souls that wanted to come enlightened, such as Yeshua, and also people at that time, they went to the Great Pyramid to the King's Chamber, and I kind of saw it like a sensory deprivation chamber where people can close out all the stimulus and they can tap the energy of the pyramids in order to basically go into a deep meditative state where they can talk to their higher self, and then in a way even do like a near-death experience where they cross the other side and they're able to come back with enlightened information.
Indeed, and many pharaohs would go through that type of ceremonial ritual to attain more knowledge, more information, to be able to access more of their gifts as well. They would have a near-death experience right there in the King's Chamber.
Yeah. That's what I thought, and it's all designed that way, and it's designed by extraterrestrial beings like yourself, like myself, who designed that to help humanity elevate its consciousness.
Yes, in fact, that was why they were created, and not just for the glorification of the pharaoh.
Correct. Yeah. I also understand there is other purpose. Like I kind of got that if you go to the Queen's Chamber, that was once used for cellular regeneration or healing. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah. Do I need to research more about the Great Pyramid, or can I can just go there and enjoy myself, basically. Whatever will come to me will come to me.
At this point, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you feel inspired to do some research, then follow that inner guidance that you're getting in that moment.
Okay. The king's chamber is coordinated with the throat chakra of the pyramid. So that means that there are 2 other chambers above it that need to be discovered to correlate with the third eye chakra and the crown chakra. I actually got a download that I think I know where the crown chakra is. The crown chakra of the pyramid is actually the top of the pyramid, like on the back of the US dollar, you see the top of the pyramid with the eye on it. So I think that's the crown chakra of the pyramid.
Indeed.
Yeah, very cool. It's like playing a mystery game and putting together all the puzzles and having fun with it. Okay, so the right now the third eye chakra of the Great Pyramid is not discovered yet, but I assume that it will be discovered soon.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Were the Pleiadians and other lineages responsible for developing the pyramids, or was it a group effort, or was there a certain ET species that a group thing? Okay.
It was all of us who were coming and visiting the Lyrans and the Syrians as well.
Excellent. So, and we all get along together, and we all love each other, and understand that we're all one. And it was built on a foundation of unity. I very early on, I did have fear about the Orions, because there are certain Orions in certain densities that are service to self, and I was fearful that the pyramid was constructed by them to be used for them for that purpose. But right now, I'm feeling like, forget all those fears. That's not accurate. All ET races are all loving or service to self eventually when they reach the higher density. So I need not to think about that fear and just understand that.
And everyone is evolving and expanding their consciousness no matter where they started out. So you could have a group that starts out as service to self and then basically tires themselves out from that experience and wants a different experience, or has an awakening experience where they realize that what they're doing is not bringing them joy, not the best possible experience they could be having. And so they make that shift individually, collectively. It's all happening all across this galaxy.
That's excellent. I would love to broadcast that to people, humanity, so they don't have fear, but you know what? That's for them to live out in their life. I don't need to get on the soapbox and teach people that will come naturally for the people who it's meant to come to. So, okay, yeah. Well, one of my favorite questions to ask when I speak to different ET collective consciousness is, what are the characteristics of Pleiadians that are different than other ET lineages? What are we known for?
We're healers and teachers. We like to develop new healing techniques, modalities, technologies. We do like to teach them to others, and we like to integrate our consciousness with the consciousness of those who are seeking to connect to other beings from other dimensions and star systems. And that's why we are channeled by so many. It's because it's a desire of ours to be teachers and to connect to those who are willing to do so.
Excellent. So if you can describe it, if you can answer it this way, what density and dimension are your collective consciousness in?
7th dimension.
Okay.
Which is in the 5th density.
Okay. So would it be accurate to say that there are also Pleiadians that are in a 3rd density and 4th density? I mean, honestly,
absolutely.
Yeah, we're on all distant density. Okay. So are there Pleiadians that are higher than your density right now? But you guys are just telling, okay, that makes sense. Completely makes sense. Wow. So can you tell me anything about my Pleiadian self?
Well, you've had many lifetimes
Okay.
in this system and in many different dimensions, densities, forms. Your first incarnation here was as an orb.
Okay.
A very curious orb that liked to sit in on philosophical conversations and healings and absorbed so much from the very early experiences you had before incarnating as a humanoid.
That sounds like me.
Yes, and then once you incarnated as a humanoid, you wanted to have all the various experiences that you could have. So you had the experience of a scientist, a soldier, a healer, a mathematician, a politician, a spaceship captain, one who mined for crystals. You just went from experience to experience to experience, and then eventually you decided to change your form to avian being. And as an avian being, you were much more philosophical and didn't teach as much, but had conversations with the other avian beings telepathically about what would be best to create, what would be best for those in the lower densities and dimensions, to assist them, how you could be of greater service, and where in the galaxy the Pleiadian energy was most needed. So you existed in avian form as great philosophers and ones who would make decisions that then they could telepathically transmit to the humans, who could choose whether to use that guidance or not.
Excellent. So because there is no space and time, the existence of me being Pleiadians and those various life forms that you just described are happening right now as I'm having this human experience. And this human experience as Darryl Ng is also happening while I'm having a previous life in Lemuria or Atlantis.
Yes.
So they're all happening at once, and we're all connected. And the only point of control I have is under Darryl Ng and how I focus my perspective.
Correct.
And by turn happy and cheerful, that actually touches all the energy forms throughout all the universes and all the different existences, so that I can actually help raise those vibrations also.
Yes, and it extends out even beyond the influence that you have over your own soul counterparts. It's everyone throughout the galaxy and the universe that you're affecting by thinking a happy thought or by doing something that brings you joy.
Because we're all connected and we're all one, so that completely makes sense. Okay. Very fun, very fun. Well, while we're just focused on my vibration, I mean, I understand that other people are me too, but let's look at my signature vibration. I think I had kind of a theme of my lives, on Earth, and definitely on Earth I have this thing, but in other planets and other species, is that I seem to be really drawn toward philosophy, justice, and rights. I mean, helping, service to others maybe is the best way of putting it. Although I understand that I probably have had incarnations where I'm service to self just for the contrast and experience of it. But I kind of feel like my general nature is towards service to others. Is that accurate?
It is accurate, yes.
Okay. Very cool. So all my existences as Pleiadians also coincide with my existence as Arcturians or as Andromedans, because that's the other group that I'm primary of. And also dragon. Is dragons Dragos?
The Dracos are different from the dragons.
Oh, okay. Okay, even though we on Earth make it sound alike, it's different. Okay, that kind of resonates with me.
They are different but similar.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Can you explain dragons, cosmic dragons to us? I kind of got that is more toward the origin energy form, and that it's more closer to the original consciousness source energy form. And that's what spread out to the different galaxies and help make planets, ET races and stuff like that. I think it's more of an elemental form, I guess is what I would say. Is that accurate?
It is accurate that they are very close to the elementals and the fairy kingdom, the fairy realm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they exist alongside those other creatures that are mythological to most humans, very real to the rest of you, that they're foundational, fundamental, and that they do want very much to create places to dwell for themselves and others in peace and harmony, and that's what they've always sought. They've always been very misunderstood by humanoids.
Yeah. Yeah, I that really resonates for me because I've done some research as to what is the difference between densities and dimensions and realms, and they often are used in the human language as interchangeably, but they have different kind of focuses, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there a way you can describe the focus of realms? I mean, I completely understand when you say dragon, fairies, gnomes, they're of that realm. Is there a way you can describe realms as explaining why it's different than dimensions?
Well, because within a dimension, you have many different places. You can see that on Earth. You can see that you're in the fourth dimension on Earth, but you can go into different places that are quite different in their orientation, in what types of things are going to be done in those places. Even just city life versus country life, it's very different. And you could say that I'm entering into the city realm when you're going into a city.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yes.
Very fun, very fun. Before I forget, I want to go back to the pyramids. So I'm going to have this experience where I'm really looking forward to, and personally for my growth and also for the growth of humanity. Is there any advice you can give me to prepare for that trip?
Well, you can certainly set intentions before you board the plane as to what you want the overall trip to be about, and each segment of it, what you want to experience, the type of activations you want to receive, the type of people you want to meet, and how you want to interact with those people. And then be open for the unknown.
Excellent.
As well, the surprises, the way you can surprise yourself and give yourself something you didn't even know you wanted.
Yeah, just go in there with an open heart and no expectations, and just let the unbelievable flow to you. All the happy and unbelievable, well, actually whatever flows to you is meant to flow to you, so you just accept it and learn to grow from it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And yet you are still able to use your free will and your consciousness as an awakened soul to bring about certain experiences by asking yourself questions like, well, I know I want to have this magical, mystical experience on this trip, but do I believe it's possible? Do I believe it's possible for me to have that experience? And really give yourself the honest answers to those questions so you can unravel some of the beliefs that are more limiting in nature.
Excellent. Makes sense, and I'm there. I am just kind of looking forward to it, and I think I get into a very high vibrational state thinking about it. So that resonates for me. Right next to the pyramid is the Great Sphinx. I have some downloads or some thoughts about it, and I'd like to kind of get your insight. I get that the Sphinx itself is a being from the Lyran origin, that is that, you know, and that originally, for lack of a better term, it had a cat or a lion's head, and that man-made chiseled it down to put the pharaoh's head in it, but originally it was a lion's head.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it's from the Lyran constellation, and that it's, you know, it's a being, it's alive right now. Is it what you would call a first density being, even though it has like talked to me and other people?
The structure, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the consciousness, like all of our consciousness, lives in different densities and different stages. So when the consciousness talks to us, it could be the Sphinx in different conscious levels or density levels.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. And of course it's in different dimensions and realms. I mean, different dimensions too, but yeah, so I kind of get that. So one of the fascinating things that I understand is that the Sphinx in its right hand holds cosmic information that other ETs have placed in it for mankind to receive once it's reached a higher density and loving state. That at that point, all that trove of galactic information will be given to mankind so that mankind can use it properly to grow and love and go out to the universe and, you know, more visiting.
You have to achieve a certain level of consciousness to be able to access that information. So it's not just given to you, but you reach it. You reach the point where you're able to receive it. So it's not about having the right key or the right code or the right artifact like in an Indiana Jones movie, but it's really about achieving the level of consciousness where you can handle it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this thought just popped in my head. Is there a reason why you need to be there in order to do that? Being there physically? No, that's not add to.
You don't have to. It just increases your excitement level, your belief. You're able to feel the energies more viscerally because of the closeness in proximity to them that you'll be. But it's there for everyone all the time across the entire universe. Everything that's there is inside of you as well.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. Now we were having a call with Daniel's group earlier, and we were talking about everything is internal. Everything is inside you. Everything is like a hologram, and every little piece of hologram contains the whole. So I was explaining to you that the whole universe is within a fractal of you.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. So we can tap, if we raise our vibration and our density level, we can tap that information that's in the Sphinx right paw.
Yes.
But you're saying that does it help if we're physically there, or is it really just I can do that just the same sitting in my living room as I can going to Egypt?
It helps. The proximity to it helps because it also has a vibration. And if you can tune in to the vibration, if you can be sensitive enough to do that, then you will receive more from it.
Excellent. I'm going to run and get a plug because my battery's running out, so just hold over to me for 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah, so on Earth, as you know, we have this thing about battery plugs, and we have to charge up our electronics, otherwise we go blank. So I just had to charge up my phone. I feel a connection to the Sphinx do I have a cosmic connection to the Sphinx? I guess we're all connected to everything. So in one way, yes, because we're all connected to everything. But
well, yes, and you've physically been there before during the time of the construction of the Sphinx, and were very interested in it at that time. So you have more knowledge of it because of your ability to tap into that aspect of your soul that's still there right now.
Correct. Was that during my lifetime on Atlantis or Lemuria? No, Lemuria is physically located
Egypt.
in
You were
Egypt.
in Egypt at the time.
Okay. Can you say approximately what year that was or time frame it was?
25,000 BC.
25,000 BC. Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Gotcha. And it was developed in Egypt. So I was going to ask, was it developed by a different ET race than the pyramids? So on one hand, I know that it's Lyrian base. So were the Lyrians primarily responsible for it, or was it not the way of thinking that it could be Lyrian base, but other ETs came in to build it?
It was the Lyrians who were overseeing the project, but it was the Egyptians who wanted to construct it, and the Lyrians said, all right, if you're going to build a monument to us, then it's going to be more than just something that's pretty for people to look at and that is a monument to our greatness. It's going to be helpful. And so they wanted very much to participate in its construction, making sure that it had all the right elements within it to leave a trace of their energy behind.
Yeah. And what I got was that there are certain Egyptian goddesses or beings that guarded the Sphinx because they worship kind of Lyrians, I think, because they were much into cats and they took their temples there. And
Yes.
And that kind of makes sense that they were in charge of protecting the Sphinx and loving the Sphinx because there's a connection to the Sphinx.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Do I have a Lyrian background?
Oh, yes, you've had many lifetimes there as well.
Okay. Yeah, no, I kind of am guessing that I've been all over the place.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
And you were very interested in the co-creation of planet Earth because it was a group effort from all of us across the galaxy. And you had your footprints in it, in the co-creation of the Earth as a living library, as a place where beings from all across the galaxy could go and explore different life forms.
Yeah.
And also to help create it to be a sort of vacation paradise.
Yeah. No, I found out that my life on Earth right here is a vacation for me. That normally I'm not originally from Earth. I came here for a vacation, and evidently
Yes.
I'm staying and enjoying myself and creating other lifetimes now. But initially it was like a vacation for me to incarnate here. Great. What I also am getting as a download about the Sphinx is that one of its purposes is to be there and be a data collection center for Earth to get that information to shoot it out to the cosmos. That's one of the main reasons that the Sphinx being came to Earth was for that purpose. It's a lovely being that agreed to basically sit there for centuries and centuries and millions, patiently loving and recording data and exchanging it out to the universe and back again. So it's kind of like a information portal.
With the help of the pyramids, of course.
Correct.
It is.
Correct. So can you explain why it's part of the solar plexus chakra?
Egypt itself, the point on the grid of Earth was always the solar plexus chakra, and those who knew that, Thoth and the ETs who knew about that, chose Egypt to be the place where these kinds of projects could be put into a physicalization to help the entire planet with its identity, with its relationship to power, and with the ego, and helping all points across the grid from that power point of the solar plexus chakra of Earth was the intention, and it's why Egypt was chosen to be that place where so many ETs would come and so many teachings would be delivered, so they could be spread from the solar plexus across the grid lines to the various points of Earth where others could absorb it.
Completely makes sense to me. I've always known that I needed to go to Egypt and the Great Pyramids to do this process. But there are now other chakra points on the Earth, other sites on Earth. Am I meant to go to those other sites and do activations and help the energy flow?
Only if you want to. You can always trust your inner guidance. So if there's a place you want to go, then go there. If there's a place that you have no interest in going, wait until you have that interest, because that's your guidance telling you now's the appropriate timing for you to be there.
That completely makes sense. Wow. Very cool. So this is going to be kind of an interesting one, because I know there's no space and time. I also know that I am a fractal or a part of the raw collective consciousness. I'm very tied to Ra and the collective consciousness, and then according to Egypt, Ra is a sun god, in Egypt, and was worshipped as the sun god. But I also understand that I now have past lives in Egypt as a human. So as a human, I'm worshiping a part of myself as Ra, and I'm also now going to go to Egypt, to the Great Pyramids, where I think I'm going to act as kind of a background inspiration for my previous incarnation as an Egyptian who's worshiping Ra, who is me in some ways, but I am now physically in the pyramid, or close to the pyramid, so I can talk to my past self, who would be Egyptian, and give it inspiration and try to help raise its density. And yeah.
Seeing it from a different perspective now helps the yous that are there in Egypt, seeing it from their perspective, because you're all feeding information back into the same central hub of your soul.
Correct. And if I have joy and excitement, that will feed in and help my past self there. If my past self has doubts of spirituality and raising its vibration, by me going there, I can act as inspiration for my past self to help it raise its consciousness and density level.
Indeed.
Sounds very cool. It sounds like fun. It sounds like a fun game, and if we just learn not to take things too seriously, we can achieve a lot and have fun.
Indeed, you can.
Yeah. So there really is no fear. I mean, I do have, because I'm human and stuff like that, I do have some fears, what happens if I go to the pyramids and it collapses on me and I die. But those are just kind of silly things, right? I mean, I can't imagine that I've come to this far just to have stones fall on me and kill me at the pyramid. I got to understand that I'm here for a bigger purpose, and whenever my life unfolds, it's just meant to be that way.
Indeed.
Yeah, so just enjoy yourself. Enjoy myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's all happening for your greatest and highest good and the greatest and highest good of all. every single thing that will unfold.
Yeah. And that, although it sounds selfish in our human term, is that the reality is that we can only take care of ourselves. We can only impact our own perspective and impact our own vibration. We should not try to control or impact anyone else's vibration, even though we love them, and we just need to give them the respect of them playing out their lives according to what their soul plan has played out.
Indeed, you don't have to control anyone else's path, but you are helping them just by your presence there, just by your attention on them, and your intention for them to get everything that they need when they need it.
Yeah.
From whatever source they get it from. That's your intention. If you don't have to be the one who's giving them all the information, then you're absolutely serving them in all the ways that you can.
Okay. One of the issues that I'm having right now for me is like my throat chakra, which is theoretically supposed to be about communication and telling your truth.
Yes.
I think for me right now, one of my stages is that I know a lot of information, or at least I think I know a lot of information, and I love teaching it. I love getting the information out, but I'm trying to find that balance of not stepping on other people's toes or not to offend people, and that sometimes feels like I'm stifling my voice and stifling my throat chakra. Do you have any words of wisdom on that? Is that accurate, or am I looking at it from a negative perspective there, or do you have any comments on that?
Well, which perspective do you think is negative?
That I think that I can step on people's toes, and I think that people think I'm obnoxious. Sometimes I think that people think I'm overbearing, or that I come on too thick.
If people think that, if you're thinking they might be thinking that, then you must be thinking that. Because you wouldn't assume someone to think something that you have absolutely no connection to or haven't fathomed at all yourself. In other words, you're only going to project onto someone else a belief or a thought about you that you're also entertaining.
That is very true and correct.
So if that's what you're thinking, then you want to change your thinking about yourself and what your intentions are and whether you're obnoxious or not. You want to change your thinking about all of that and be true to yourself without any sort of second guessing of yourself and who you are, without any self-recrimination, without believing that others are looking at you through a crooked eye. But as you can let go of all of that, then you can be free to be yourself.
That is very good advice. I tend to be hard on myself, and I tend to have some negative thoughts. But what you said, it is true. I mean, I just need to refocus when I'm having a negative thought and just refocus on happy thoughts. And it's a good policy for humans not to think about what other people think. Just think about what we think, what I think, and what brings me most joy and happiness. And if that means telling people information that I think is true, then I'm going to do it. Just express it, and they can take it or leave it. And all I know is my intention is to spread information and love, and just enjoy that.
Yes.
Excellent. Wow. From a cosmic point of view, so all of these races, galactic races, are all kind of working together in different densities and different dimensions, and we all know
others, they're warring with each other, of course.
Yeah.
So there's that going on in the galaxy somewhere, somewhen as well.
Yeah.
But the aspects that you want to tune into are those that are unified and are helping. So you put your attention there, and that's what you get more of on your plane of existence.
Yeah, and it's the same parallel situation that as with wars in different galaxies, war on Earth is the same thing as if you put your attention on it, then you're going to focus on it, and you don't need to. You can focus on your self-sovereignty bubble, and you can know there's a war going on Earth, or know there's a war going on in a different galaxy, but you don't need to really focus on that. You just focus on what makes you happy.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. That certainly takes a lot of guilt and burden off of people's shoulders, because, you know, as we're here on Earth and we want to do good, so that sometimes we think being good means to worry about other people and worry about the war and worry about this war on Earth or in the other galaxy, but it's none of our business. Well, it's us, because everything's us, but we don't need to focus on that. We just need to focus on what makes us happy.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, knowing what you know about me, is there any advice you can give me on being happy?
Just place your attention on your heart center more often throughout the day. Let yourself be guided by your heart. Know that you're not just there to help with the ascension and to spread energies all over the planet. You're also there because you know that Earth has certain experiences that you can only have there. And so to seek out those experiences because they appeal to you, because you're listening to your heart, you're following that inner guidance that's saying, go here, do this, you'll enjoy it, you'll feel more in the flow as you do. That's going to help you with all of the work that you're doing there as well. It's going to help you to be in the highest vibrational space you can be in by exploring that which is most interesting and exciting to you. That's outside of the realm of what you would call New Age or spiritual thought, metaphysics.
Very true. Very true.
It is.
Well, along that lines, right now, kind of what's coming to me is that I need to work on my chakras, as all humans, but I'm kind of sensing that I'm at a spot where if I can get all my chakras flowing, then I can tap more of my inner self and tap of divine intelligence in the crown. And I understand that the first three chakras are the human chakras, and then the heart chakra bridges the next three on top. The next three are the spiritual chakras, so to speak. Do you think my chakras are in line? I kind of got that my throat chakra needs a little bit of work, but
it's a little off center.
Yeah, okay.
But all you have to do is visualize it coming into the center point where it rests directly underneath the third eye chakra. And it will be there. Okay,
that's very useful. I also got the download that what I should do is imagine that, get all my chakras flowing, but also imagine that they're expanding. I kind of feel like if I expand them out and make them grow, I can help humanity and myself more. It's kind of like if I can make the flowway bigger, so to speak. Is that a useful way of thinking of it, or?
Yes.
Okay. And so my chakras are flowing, with exception my throat needs to be a little bit more in the middle. How's my third eye chakra going? I think it's opening up a lot more. I mean, definitely.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, and very few people have a completely open third eye. but yours is very close to being there, to being completely open. And so you can also lean into that ability that you have to sense things and see things and know things psychically and clairvoyantly.
Yeah. And how do I lean into that? The answer I get is that I just enjoy myself. It's like I just let it come to me and just have joy that it's coming to me and not mandate that it comes to me. When it comes, when it comes, and the more joy I have, the more it will come to me. Is that a way of thinking about it? Is that a useful recipe for that?
Yes, it is. And we would also say that you can rely more heavily upon it because it's so open and because you have confidence in what you get when you're tuning into your third eye and you're receiving there.
Okay. Can you help explain to me then the different downloads that I get from my third eye versus my crown chakra? So my understanding is the crown chakra is where divine information, cosmic information comes in, and the third eye, I kind of think of it as like the psychic gifts. So is that a useful way of thinking?
The third eye is a place where that energy coming in through the crown can be processed, known, expressed, experienced. So that's where you feel more confident in interpreting the energy that's coming to you. And that's why we say rely upon that confidence that you have.
Okay. I mean, a part of me loves to teach and to help people out, and a part of me wants to teach them everything that I'm saying to you. And ironically, by showing them this tape, this will help teach them. But is there anything I can do to help humanity learn this information? I'm thinking about writing a book, podcast, YouTube channel, and just to get the information out there. Is there anything you can advise me, knowing that
all of the above and more, and living it and being the example of all that you know in action, because that is the best way to teach, is for others to be interested in what it is that you've come to know, because they can sense in your vibration that you've tapped into something more than what they've tapped into thus far.
Yeah. You know, one thing interesting that I got was that I actually kind of had an initial hard life here on Earth in this lifetime, but I got that. I designed that hard life because I knew I would overcome it, but also that now that people come to me in the future where they have had hard times or hard life, I can empathize better with them, because in some ways I probably had it a lot harder than they did. So so I can understand where they're coming from, and this will help teach stuff. Me being a better teacher and more empathic and understanding toward them.
Absolutely. Well said.
I feel that from my heart, and I just want.
And you wanted to have all the earthly experiences that you could wrapped up into one nice, neat little package of this life.
Yeah, no, that sounds like me. That sounds like something I would do, and
So you've got to have the downs as well as the ups.
Correct. In order to appreciate.
And you appreciate,
them.
Not only do you have that compassion, but you're able to really savor the good moments now that you have.
Yeah. You're like, I know you can't fortune tell because it's for me to experience and stuff like that, but I kind of feel like...
It's for you to create.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I feel like this is the phase of my life where I can start really enjoying myself, and I can teach and I can do things that were previously unbelievable, but now I know it's all doable, and I know that the impossible is possible, and I know that I can be more effective and just do it with love and joy in my heart.
Well said.
Yeah. I'm you guys, but I just want to say that, the Pleiadians, from what I understand and research, it's a very loving ET lineage, and I have gratitude and honor to be a part of that lineage.
Very good. We're very happy that you are part of our collective consciousness as well, and that you are there representing the Pleiadian energy so beautifully.
Oh, that's beautiful. I was going to ask you if you have any closing remarks, but that sounds like a pretty beautiful closing remarks. But do you have any closing remarks for me, or advice, or anything you want to say to me?
Well, yes. From all the time that we've spent chatting with you and observing you, we know that you're always going to be on the right track, and all you have to do is trust and have enough faith to keep moving forward, and to do so with as much joy in your heart as possible will be a very satisfying, very fulfilling experience for you of this life experience that you've created and continue to create as you move through it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. It's been an honor to contact with you and to talk with you. And just, you feel my love for you.
Yes, indeed, we do.
Thank you very much.
We are the Pleiadian High Councils, and we are very fond of you, and that is all.
Thank you. How are you feeling, Daniel?
Good.
Good? Okay.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
So.
My pleasure.